Good, happy Tuesday morning, July 12, 2022. I'm Riley King, and welcome to this Tuesday morning edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. Let's get started right now. First up, we are going to take a look at the weather. The weather today, it's going to be hot and humid with chance of storms. With a full weather forecast, let's go to meteorologist Kevin Scrippa. Good morning, Kevin.
If you have ever dreamed of having granite or quartz countertops in your kitchen, but thought it was too expensive, Bob's Granite please.
Weather alert day for us today, as we are expecting the potential with the warmer temperatures and the higher humidity with a front approaching from the west, scattered strong storms. The main timeline from 2 to about 9 or 10 o'clock this evening. You can see the main threat here would be for gusty winds, heavy downpours, and small hail with these storms. It does look like a front approaching from the west is going to bump into the warmth and humidity. Temperatures for most as highs will be in the 80s. Dew points will be in the 60s, which is not something we've seen a lot of, but it is a lot more common for the month of July. We do have a warm front making its way across the state this morning with a line of showers. Most of this not lasting more than a half hour as it comes through. No strong weather expected from that through 9 o'clock this morning. It is the front back out through the Great Lakes. Showers and storms will develop along that later on this afternoon and move across the state later in the day and into early this evening. High temperatures out ahead of that will be in the 80s. We could have a couple of southern spots that approach 90 degrees this afternoon with a breeze out of the southwest. So one area of showers moves north and east of us by late morning. There could be a couple of other showers through about midday. It's later this afternoon and into early this evening. Some scattered showers and storms will be firing to our west. A couple of those could have some heavier downpours and gusty winds with them, and then we'll fade back between 56 and 66 overnight under fair skies. Good deal of sunshine around tomorrow. 95% of the day will be dry. There's just a chance of a quick passing shower or thunder shower after 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And there will be a better chance of a few pop-up showers and thunder showers on Thursday afternoon with a disturbance coming through. It will turn less humid behind that on Friday, and partly sunny skies expected with a warming trend over the weekend. 80s both days, but it could be mid and upper 80s with higher humidity developing on Sunday, and that could lead us up near 90 degrees by Monday afternoon with the next front eventually approaching. 80s to lower 90s. Be weather aware if you're going to be outdoors for any length of time this afternoon. The warmth and humidity with a front approaching from the west could lead us to some scattered stronger storms, something we'll keep tabs on for you throughout the day. 56 to 66 overnight tonight. Any sort of storm chances will be done by 9 or 10 o'clock, and then fair skies overnight. Still in the 80s for most tomorrow. Still some humidity in the air and a small chance of a passing thunder shower later in the day. The better chance of a few afternoon thunder showers will be on Thursday, and it looks like sunshine and mainly dry weather with a warming trend for the weekend.
Okay, and there you go on that weather forecast from meteorologist Kevin Scrippa. Covered bridge in Lancaster closed due to damage. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
We need Maggie Hassan to keep fighting to lower costs for families. She worked with Republicans and Democrats to ban surprise medical bills. Now Maggie Hassan's taking on the big drug companies to give Medicare the power to negotiate lower drug prices.
Heads up to anyone driving in Lancaster. Police say the Mechanic Street covered bridge is closed because of this. An oversized truck tried to drive over it, causing significant damage, as you can see. Those beams broken on top. It's not yet clear when that bridge may reopen.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Man accused of hitting 3 women with car after police called to report of fight. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Jackpot alert! Okay, we'll get a ticket. How did you get in here?
Well, that's right, guys. Police say the 24-year-old man hit 3 people when police responded to a fight over the weekend. Those 3 victims are in the hospital, and that suspect is behind bars tonight.
I woke up, I heard people screaming and saying their guy was running down the alleyway.
I guess it was really chaotic and stressful and sad.
Neighbors remember a chaotic scene early Sunday morning. Police say they were responding to a fight with about 20 people on Dubuque Street. When they arrived, they say 24-year-old David Hamilton got into a car, put it in reverse before hitting and running over 3 people.
A police officer had been calling to him to stop, and he didn't do so, and he took off.
Police say he crashed the car on Wayne Street, right near Thomas Eaton's house, before he jumped out and ran away.
There's a lot of cops out here. I just saw the cops running around like crazy looking for the guy.
Hamilton going before a judge today, the prosecution arguing for preventative detention, while Hamilton's defense asked the judge to release him on house arrest.
Not only hit 3 young women, ran them over, which resulted in extremely serious injuries.
He's a very young person who is fully aware how face tattoos might come off to the court. And he wants you to know that he got those when he was 18 years old and that he is a different person now.
Neighbors hoping the victims make a full recovery.
Hope that everyone's okay in the end, you know. That's it. They get out of the hospital and they recover.
And police described the victim's injuries as serious but not life-threatening. Hamilton is being held on preventative detention with no cash bail. Live in Manchester tonight, Marissa Tansino, WMUR News.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Crews responding to fire in Londonderry. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
First, a thank you to breaking news now from Londonderry. Fire crews responding to a fire at 3 Sims Drive. This is the scene there you see. Firefighters up on the roof of this building as well. Appears to be an industrial building. We have a crew there on the scene tonight as well. Crews are still out there working as we try to get more details about this fire, find out the cause. So far, I've yet to receive more details. We are working to get those for you. And as soon as we get the updates, you'll get them here on air and our mobile app.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report.
First, a thank you to break.
Whoops. Community comes together to support children after Alstead shooting death. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
What does it take to be the best? It takes guts.
The small and quiet town of Alstead hit with tragedy. 42-year-old Alicia Lawler shot and killed by her husband Stephen, who then committed suicide.
Shocked, very shocked. I think anybody that heard what happened was shocked.
Now this tight-knit community is coming together to help 2 young people who have been affected.
They've, lost everything right now.
Megan Chase is close with the family and helped start the first GoFundMe page that has raised nearly $6,000 in 24 hours.
We're just trying to ease all the some of the financial burdens from their, living with their grandparents.
A second GoFundMe page was started by the organization The Oddfellows, raising close to $4,000 to help pay for the future education of the 2.
It means everything, and it's really an overwhelming happiness.
I think it's very important. It's, kind of a tragic thing to happen, and, they kind of need it.
The support being felt by those who've been affected the most.
The community just pulls together, and people that you don't even know pull together, and it really gives me faith in this world again.
Now, if you would like to donate to either one of these GoFundMe pages, you can find the links on our website and on our mobile app. And there have also been 2 very generous anonymous donations of $1,000. Live in Alstead, Troy Lynch, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Opioid overdoses trending higher than last year in parts of New Hampshire. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Jackpot alert! Okay, we'll get a ticket. How did you get in here?
Right now, some parts of New Hampshire are seeing a spike in opioid overdoses. In the first half of 2022, Manchester and Nashua saw a 20% spike over the same period last year. American Medical Response is projecting more than 100 deaths in the two cities this year, a number not seen since the start of the opioid crisis.
One of the things that we're seeing, which is most disturbing, is that opioids are now being found in things like cocaine and marijuana, where people are unsuspectingly using them and then being rendered unconscious.
Now, AMR says Narcan is widely available, and almost a third of the time they respond to overdoses, someone has already administered it.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. High-stakes January 6th hearing today. Let's take a listen to that video from ABC News.
Once I did tell my story, the whole world knew about it.
We're still fighting for equality. We're still fighting for respect.
We get a chance to play something that we've always wanted to play.
This morning, the January 6th committee preparing for its 7th hearing, zeroing in on the Capitol attack itself. The committee trying to make the case former President Donald Trump's own words inspired his supporters to breach the Capitol, trying to stop certification of the 2020 election.
President Trump summoned the mob, assembled the mob, and lit the flame of this attack.
The hearing expected to focus on radical extremists who took part in the assault. A former spokesperson for the militia group The Oath Keepers planning to testify as members of that group face seditious conspiracy charges tied to the riot. Lawmakers also expected to call Stephen Ayers, an Ohio man who pled guilty to his role in the Capitol attack. The FBI says Ayers posted on social media accusing President Biden and Democrats of treason and warning of a coming civil war. Today's testimony coming after an about-face from Steve Bannon, a conservative firebrand and one-time Trump strategist who now says he'll speak to the committee on the eve of his criminal trial for ignoring a congressional subpoena. Bannon previously refused to cooperate, citing executive privilege despite leaving his Trump White House job in 2017.
From the start, he said he's willing to comply if they just resolve the privilege issue, which he feels he's bound by.
A judge yesterday disagreed, saying the presidential power to withhold information doesn't cover a former government official who worked for a now former president. Federal prosecutors writing, quote, "The only thing that has really changed is that Bannon is finally about to face the consequences of his decision." The January 6th committee also spent 8 hours Friday interviewing former Trump White House counsel Pat Cipollone. Members say parts of that recorded testimony could be played in today's hearing or the following hearing, which aides to the committee say is expected to be held next week.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. That does it for this morning edition of the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. Thank you for tuning in and watching. Have a great day, everyone, and goodbye.